Hello everyone. Welcome to UPSC Explainer 101. Today, we'll explore Chapter 15, Era of Mass Nationalism Begins, from Spectrum. Let's dive in. Discuss the factors that led to the resurgence of nationalism in India post-World War I. Answer. The resurgence of nationalism in India post-World War I was due to several factors. Economic hardships post-war. India contributed significantly in men, money, and materials to the British war effort, leading to widespread hardships. Worldwide disillusionment with imperialism. Promises of democracy and self-determination by Allied powers during the war were not fulfilled, leading to global disillusionment. Impact of the Russian Revolution. The establishment of the Soviet Union under Lenin's leadership inspired Indians about the power of the masses against tyranny. Evaluate the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms and their impact on Indian politics. Answer. The Montagu-Chelmsford reforms introduced diarchy in provinces, dividing subjects into reserved and transferred categories. While it expanded the franchise and introduced bicameral legislatures, it had significant drawbacks. Diarchy was complex and impractical. The central executive was not responsible to the legislature, the franchise was limited, and real power remained with the British. Explain Gandhi's methods and achievements in South Africa and their influence on his activities in India. Answer. Gandhi's activism in South Africa included setting up the Natal Indian Congress and leading campaigns against discriminatory laws. His methods of satyagraha and civil disobedience, developed in South Africa, profoundly influenced his strategies in India, like the Champaran Satyagraha, Ahmedabad Mill Strike, and Kheda Satyagraha. Analyze the significance of the Rowlatt Satyagraha and the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in the Indian independence movement. Answer. The Rowlatt Act, seen as a betrayal by the British, led to nationwide protests. Gandhi's call for a mass strike marked a significant shift in the national movement, actively involving the masses. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre was a pivotal moment, causing widespread outrage and marking a shift in Indian attitudes towards British rule, significantly propelling the movement for independence. Assess the role of Gandhi in shaping the course of the Indian national movement during 1919-1939. Answer. Gandhi's role was pivotal in mobilizing the masses and introducing new forms of protest like non-cooperation and civil disobedience. His leadership in movements like the non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and his decision-making during critical times significantly shaped the Indian freedom struggle. Analyze the role and impact of the Khilafat movement in the Indian independence struggle. Answer. The Khilafat movement, 1919-1924, led by Indian Muslims, sought to protect the Ottoman Caliphate and became a part of the larger Indian independence struggle. It was significant for several reasons. It marked the first major effort to bring Hindu-Muslim unity against the British. The movement gained momentum with Gandhi's support, symbolizing a confluence of nationalist and religious sentiments. The movement's decline, however, led to a sense of betrayal among Muslims, impacting Hindu-Muslim relations and the Indian national movement. Assess the significance of the Simon Commission and the subsequent Nehru Report in the context of Indian constitutional development. Answer. The Simon Commission, constituted in 1927 by the British government to report on India's constitutional progress, faced nationwide protests as it did not include any Indian members. Its significance and the subsequent Nehru Report, 1928, were crucial. The Simon Commission's all-British composition was seen as a negation of India's demand for self-governance, leading to widespread protests and a boycott. In response, the Nehru Report was the first major attempt by Indians to draft a constitutional framework for India, advocating dominion status and fundamental rights. Discuss the impact of the civil disobedience movement and the round-table conferences on the Indian freedom struggle. Answer. The civil disobedience movement, 1930-1934, and the Round Table Conferences significantly impacted the Indian freedom struggle. The civil disobedience movement, led by Gandhi, involved mass non-compliance with British laws and taxes, significantly challenging British authority. The Round Table Conferences, held in London, were a series of 3 meetings between British and Indian leaders to discuss constitutional reforms. However, they failed to resolve the deadlock between the British government and the Indian National Congress. Evaluate the role of Subhas Chandra Bose in the Indian national movement. Answer. Subhas Chandra Bose was a prominent figure in the Indian national movement, known for his radical approach, Bose advocated complete independence and was critical of Gandhi's non-violent approach. He became Congress President in 1938 and 1939 but resigned due to ideological differences with Gandhi. Bose's efforts in forming the Azad Hind Fauj, Indian National Army, to fight against the British with Japanese support marked a significant, though controversial, chapter in the independence movement. Analyze the impact of the Government of India Act of 1935 on Indian politics. Answer. The Government of India Act of 1935 was a significant milestone in the constitutional development of India. It proposed provincial autonomy and abolished Dhyachi, introducing a federal structure in India. Although it was seen as a step towards self-governance, it was criticized for its provisions that safeguarded British interests and for not granting full-fledged dominion status. The Act laid the foundation for the modern administrative framework in India and was a precursor to the Indian Constitution. Prelims MCQs. Gandhi's first public act of civil disobedience in South Africa was in response to a tax on former indentured laborers, b. restrictive immigration laws, c. the requirement of registration certificates with fingerprints, d. invalidation of non-Christian marriages. Answer. C. the requirement of registration certificates with fingerprints. The Montagu-Chelmsford reforms of 1919 introduced a dual system of governance known as a. bicameralism, b. federalism, c. Dhyachi, d. autonomy. Answer. C. Dhyachi. The Rowlatt Act of 1919 was opposed because it a. ended Dhyachi in provinces, b. allowed detention without trial, c. abolished the Indian Legislative Council, d. introduced separate electorates based on religion. Answer. B. allowed detention without trial. During the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the crowd had gathered for a. political protest, b. a religious ceremony, c. the Baisakhi festival, d. a meeting with Gandhi. Answer. C. the Baishakh festival. The Hunter Commission was set up to investigate a. the effectiveness of the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms, b. the Rowlatt Act protests, c. the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, d. Gandhi's role in the non-cooperation movement. Answer. C. the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Gandhi's Satyagraha in South Africa was first directed against a. the Black Act, b. discriminatory registration requirements, c. the Transvaal Immigration Act, d. the poll tax on ex-indentured laborers. Answer. B. discriminatory registration requirements. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre led to a. the start of the civil disobedience movement, b. Gandhi renouncing his Kaiser-i-Hind title, c. the immediate independence of India, d. the establishment of the Simon Commission. Answer. B. Gandhi renouncing his Kaiser-i-Hind title. The term Swaraj as a national demand in India was first made popular by a. Mahatma Gandhi, b. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, c. Dadabhai Nauroji, d. Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Answer. B. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. The impact of Gandhi's early activism in South Africa on his later strategies in India can be best described as a. a complete transformation in his approach to mass mobilization, b. a replication of his South African methods without any significant changes, c. an adaptation of his techniques to suit the Indian context, d. a shift from non-violent to more aggressive forms of protest. Answer. C. an adaptation of his techniques to suit the Indian context. The introduction of Dhyachi under the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms primarily resulted in a. streamlining the administration in the provinces, b. creating complexities and practical difficulties in governance, c. enhancing the efficiency of the provincial governments, d. immediate political stability in the provinces. Answer. B. creating complexities and practical difficulties in governance. The Rowlatt Act's introduction and subsequent protests signify a. a successful implementation of British policies in India, b. a critical turning point in Indian nationalist sentiments against British rule, c. the effectiveness of constitutional methods of protest in India, d. a decrease in mass participation in the national movement. Answer. B. a critical turning point in Indian nationalist sentiments against British rule. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre's impact on the Indian freedom struggle was a. limited to the region of Punjab, b. a nationwide awakening and a drastic shift in the attitude towards British rule, c. negligible in terms of political mobilization, d. an increase in the support for British policies. Answer. B. A nationwide awakening and a drastic shift in the attitude towards British rule. Gandhi's strategy of non-cooperation was influenced by his experiences in A. Champaran, Ahmedabad, and Kheda, B. Jallianwala Bagh, C. The Rowlatt Satyagraha, D. South African protests. Answer: A. Champaran, Ahmedabad, and Kheda. Which movement did Gandhi initiate as a response to the Rowlatt Act? A. Non-cooperation movement, B. Quit India movement, C. Civil disobedience movement, D. Rowlatt Satyagraha. Answer: D. Rowlatt Satyagraha. The Montagu-Chelmsford reforms are related to which of the following? A. Introduction of Dyachi in provinces, B. Granting complete independence to India, C. Establishment of the Simon Commission, D. Formation of the Constituent Assembly. Answer: A. Introduction of Dyachi in provinces. Which event is directly associated with the Jallianwala Bagh massacre? A. Partition of Bengal, B. Rowlatt Satyagraha, C. Simon Commission protests, D. Salt Satyagraha. Answer: B. Rowlatt Satyagraha. Gandhi's Satyagraha in South Africa was first applied in response to A. The Black Act, B. Natal Indian Congress formation, C. Discriminatory registration requirements, D. Abolition of the indenture system. Answer: C. Discriminatory registration requirements. Which act introduced bicameralism in the Central Legislature of British India? A. Government of India Act, 1935, B. Indian Councils Act, 1909, C. Government of India Act, 1919, D. Indian Independence Act, 1947. Answer: C. Government of India Act, 1919. The Khilafat movement was started by A. Ali brothers, B. Subhas Chandra Bose, C. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, D. Lala Lajpat Rai. Answer: A. Ali brothers. Gandhi's first satyagraha in India was at A. Champaran, B. Kheda, C. Ahmedabad, D. Dandi. Answer: A. Champaran. Which of the following statements about the Simon Commission is true? A. It included Indian members, B. It was set up to review the Government of India Act, 1935, C. It resulted in the Pune Pact, D. It was met with protests and the slogan, Simon Go Back. Answer: D. It was met with protests and the slogan, Simon Go Back. The concept of Swaraj as a national demand was first made by A. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, B. Mahatma Gandhi, C. Dadabhai Nauroji, D. Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Answer: A. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Which of the following is true about the Government of India Act, 1919? A. It abolished the Secretary of State for India, B. It introduced provincial autonomy, C. It established complete independence for India, D. It was based on the Nehru Report. Answer: B. It introduced provincial autonomy. Thanks for watching.